Torey, obviously you guys have been in some tough spots this postseason. You've battled back from all of them. What's your message to the team after this one?
The same things that always is. You know, we played a pretty good baseball game. We're in a position to win it. We did a lot right. Let's improve on the things that we need to tighten up and come out tomorrow and play our finest game. That's all we can do. That's how we've looked at it all season long. So, you know, it's frustrating. This is how the game goes sometimes, and we got to find a way to be resilient and adaptable and come out with a clean mind and do our best. And I have every reason to believe that we will. We've done it a lot this year.
Claudia standing to your right, Torey.
Mm-hmm.
Torey, Seager always comes out big in these big moments, but have you ever, you know, what was your mind at that moment when he came up to the plate? What was you thinking about?
Yeah, big time players do big time things at big time moments. He came through. You know, I'm still trying to figure out. I haven't seen the video and the data if we hit our spot or not, but he just clipped us. He got us. So what am I thinking? That you know, we got to make pitches and be careful because he's done this at a very high level for a very long time.
I'll go to Barry in the middle here.
Torey, basically you were going along script there with a few bumps. You know, Hinkle wasn't that sharp tonight, but was it? What was the shock level in the dugout? The way that transpired in the last few innings.
Yeah, you don't anticipate giving up a 2-run home run and tying a score in the bottom of the 9th inning with 1 out. You know, you're kind of counting it backwards and you're thinking in a very positive way. So the shock factor was very high, but I sat back down and reminded myself this is a World Series for a reason. Best players are here on the stage, and the best players do big time things. So I feel like we did script it pretty well. I think it was pretty close to what we talked about. Once Zach got through 5, it went really good. Everybody was stepping up. I actually thought Paul threw the ball well. I just think he made some mistakes in that at-bat. The Taveras at-bat was clearly a big one as well, and we got clipped.
And also the Castro.
Yeah, Castro. We talked about that for a couple days, that being a favorable matchup for us if it came down to that, that he'd be able to make pitches on him and you know, try and prevent a little extension. But I think it was just a middle pitch, and he did his job.
Do 2 more on your right, Torey.
Torey, 2 quick questions.
Yeah.
When your team walked 10 batters, is it fair to say you were kind of a little lucky to even still be in the game at that point?
Yeah. So when I was answering the earlier question, those are some things that we gotta tighten up. You cannot walk 10 batters in a World Series game and expect to hold them in the situation that we held them in. And it was a matter of time before something happened, and it did.
And then the second question, what do you think it was that made the Rangers bullpen so effective at 6 1/3, 2 singles, a walk? You know, really shut you guys down. What were they doing so well?
Yeah, I think they were attacking the zone. Gray did a good job of attacking the zone, and then using some secondary stuff. Their closer has been throwing the ball really well, and when he gets locked in, he can grind up some innings. And you know, the others we budgeted for. We talked about it. We knew how to attack him. I don't think we just got a really long look at him. It was the Leclerc-Gray grouping that I felt like we had a better opportunity to do some things after we saw him a few times.
We'll finish up in the same row to your right.
Torey, tough loss, obviously.
Yeah.
Had there been conversations about pitching around Seager in that situation?
Yeah, right. That's what I was just talking to the front office about in my office. In a fantasy land, knowing the outcome, and you're trying to prevent a two-run home run and stay in the game. You feel like you put him on, and you got first and second with some very capable hitters behind him, which you got to be careful of. And you know, I think if I'm sitting there as a Monday morning quarterback, I'm thinking about it now. But I was thinking with a very clear head, make pitches. We had our closer in the game, and we're going to get a couple outs here and march off this field 5-3. That was my mindset.
The other thing is that the fan base is going to be thinking a lot about BK Kim, 2001. He had a couple of blown saves.
Yeah.
Do ball players, do managers think about history? Does that stuff weigh on you guys, or are you too in the moment to even think about that?
Yeah, nothing there for me. I don't think any of these players were old enough to possibly remember what was going on at that time. I know we have some really big baseball fans. They probably remember, but I don't think anybody's connecting those dots.